All right, man, welcome to the Mid Show, presented by Miller Lite. This is Eddie, White Sox Dave, and Chief Danny at the kids' table. Thursday episode. I really enjoyed our episode on Tuesday.
I did too.
This week.
It was fun.
So go check that out. Make sure you're watching them both. A little confusing if you're a YouTube watcher because it goes under like the live tab.
Yeah.
So just know that you could find it under the live tab, the video tab. But regardless, it's there for you. And so is Miller Lite. Miller Lite, from fireside conversations to game days, this time of the year means more moments of the coolest people in your life. Make these moments even better with Miller Lite, the light beer for people who love beer.
I love beer.
Yeah. Listen, conference tournament weekend, we're going to get into that in a second.
This is beer season.
Yeah, this is beer season. This is it. And it's St. Patrick's Day weekend, at least here in Chicago. We celebrate a weekend early. So do a lot of places, I feel. So
Yeah.
you're going to be drinking those green Miller Lights.
I feel like Chicago kind of does the whole month. Like
Dude, did you see my tweet the other day?
It's a big deal.
We can get into it.
Yeah.
Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers. Made from simple ingredients, Miller Lite is for the people who love the taste of beer. Malted barley gives it the rich, balanced toffee note flavors and the golden color you know and love. And a clean finish means that it's always refreshing and easy to drink. Go for the beer that invented light beer. With 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, Miller Lite is always a good time. It's the original light beer and still the best one. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/redline to find the delivery options near you. Or, let's be honest, you can pick it up pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. So now here's where I will get back to Wisconsin, where you thought I was going with on Tuesday. But a little flash forward, if you're listening to this right now, we are in Milwaukee currently.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're taking a trip up. We're Big East boys for the week.
A little boys trip.
Yes, exactly.
A little road trip.
So we're going up to Milwaukee. We have at this time, I don't know what, this usually gets posted in the morning, I think. So if you're listening and you're in Milwaukee, we're going to be at Murphy's for the 11 a.m. tip. Marquette versus, we don't know yet who they're playing at this current moment.
DePaul.
I don't know if they could play DePaul. They play someone of the other game. So we'll be up there hanging out. And I like this weekend. No, I don't like it more than the big weekend.
How about this?
But it's super underrated.
It's not better than the opening weekend, but it is better than the Sweet 16 weekend.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. Sweet 16 is usually awesome basketball. You're seeing a lot of
agree.
stinkers.
I'm not saying the Sweet 16 is bad, but I love the conference tournaments
it's
too.
great.
I think
It's fantastic.
there's just more games going on in the conference tournament weekend than there is
in the
for
Big
the Sweet
Ten. You might be playing. So right now, I love two teams in the Big Ten as little sleepers because I've been watching a ton of Big Ten basketball this year. Nebraska and Penn State. Nebraska might be playing 5 days in a row. And if you watch Big Ten basketball, and I've watched a ton of it this year, they're playing football out there. It's awesome. It's such a fun.
Are they good?
Who?
Nebraska.
Nebraska's got 9. I think they were 9-11 this year in the Big Ten. I mean, they're with.
So 5 days in a row, you have to win those games to play.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if they win 4 days in a row, they play in the championship. But Nebraska is the 11 seed. I want to say they're playing Minnesota, whoever they're playing today, and Nebraska could beat any team in the conference on any given day.
The Big Ten is
awesome. It's so
fun.
cool. It's so much fun this year.
There's a lot of flyer-worthy teams
Yeah.
in the Big Ten.
It's a meat grinder.
Nebraska's 9-11, Dave. So you like them to win the Big Ten?
No,
you're saying? Just like a little sprinkle?
No, I'm not going to.
Sounds like you like them against the spread every game.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I would not be surprised at all if they were playing in the semis for the conference tournament. I don't think they're going to win it by any means. I'm not saying that, but I don't think it'd be a surprise to anybody.
It's a meat grinder, yeah. So there's the same thing, ACC. There's a lot of value in some of those mid. That's a little lower pack, but you probably get good odds. It's worth it.
Yeah.
If you watch them and you like them, I'm interested to see how Nebraska does.
Penn State, if they make the tournament, and they got a lot of work to do still, they got to win a few conference tournament games. Mm-hmm. If that team gets hot, they play fucking awesome defense, and that's a team that I would pick outside of Purdue, Indiana, Northwestern, the top 4 or 5 teams to go to the Sweet 16 that nobody's talking about. Penn State's like a pretty fucking good team, I think.
All right, Dave. Look at Davey.
We'll see
Davey
them.
Hoops.
We'll see them tomorrow night, aka tonight when this airs, against Illinois, I believe. And I think that it's going to be a gutter war. And Illinois they could go on a huge run in March. but they could also lose Penn State tomorrow.
When Northwestern is good, like they are this year, I don't think there's many people that are more dialed on Big Ten basketball.
I
than
love
you.
Big Ten basketball.
Yeah.
I always love it. This year, obviously, it's different because Northwestern came out of fucking nowhere. Out of nowhere. I thought they were going to win 8-10 games this year total.
Is the app live in Wisconsin? No, right?
No, it's not. I don't
Okay.
think it's ever going to be live gambling in Wisconsin.
All right.
Got to make our bets before we head over.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping to be able to bet on Northwestern once we get up
yeah.
the, cross state lines.
but that's the thing. Like,
gotta
they
go to
finished
Indiana
second in the
for
Big
that.
Ten this year. They could lose very well tomorrow
Yeah.
or Friday.
There's like 10 teams that are like
Yeah.
all about the same.
It's exactly it.
I'm-
It's super fun to watch.
I've been watching a lot of Michigan, obviously, because I'm intrigued by the whole, Hunter Dickinson. He's always in the clips with Marty, and then he did that one with Big Cat. So
Yep.
they played some crazy overtime games the last couple of weeks, and they basically need to win the tournament to make it in.
I would
so,
say probably. They finished 11-9, I want to say, and they're like 17
to 14.
Yeah.
They need to win the tournament. So it'll be good. But here's where I really catch up to speed. That's why I like this week.
Yeah.
Here's where I'm like, all right, I like
Are you
this.
get it
team, I
on like
that.
538.com or anything like that, trying to like get your like the analytics site, trying to get your bracket ready? Because you used to do the Calcutta thing,
Yes.
which
yes.
got you like kind of knew a lot about teams ranked like 18
Yes,
to 60.
the Big Sky and shit
Yeah,
like that. I
yeah.
was pretty good with that kind of stuff. I haven't done that in a few years. So
Yeah, it's actually kind of pissing me off
I
because
know.
then I used to have like little nuggets from you that would pay off. Now I don't have that anymore because you're
get back on that.
Yeah.
I also don't want to tell you because we have our bracket busters on Monday,
Let's go, Dave.
and it's you two and
Sydney.
and
You
Sydney.
just fucking ignored my
Yeah.
pound. I thought we were doing bracket.
I
busters.
was looking this way. I completely forgot about that. Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
That was bad pound. Do it
I
again.
know.
There we go.
But I have a team that I like, but I can't say it.
Say it. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Yes, I can because
All right,
I don't want to
we
tip you
in the
guys
Big
off.
Ten?
No. We promise that we won't
Yeah.
take it.
You know we won't.
Integrity.
The chat is saying that you shouldn't be allowed to tell Dave he can't do that.
Is
when you can't do
Danny's
it.
mic on?
I forgot
It's
we were
not.
live. It's not on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right. He
All
doesn't
right,
need to be.
no,
hard
I want
anyways.
to. Danny, you said the chat saying something.
Yeah, the chat's saying it's not right for you to be able to do that when you tell Dave you can't do that.
No, Dave tells everyone we can't do that.
Yeah,
He's
but
the
that's actually
kingmaker of
true.
that.
It's
No, but
it's
this
a
is-
societal rule.
But this is different when it comes to competition.
But we just integrity moves
No,
said that
that-
we won't.
Yeah.
We
This
is
won't
a
take
different
your,
thing
we
when it
won't
comes to
take-
competition.
I agree, but we won't take your pick.
This is
Yeah.
like if Belichick and
Games and
Aberflus
shit.
met before the game, and they're like, "I got something
Before
for
the
you.
draft,
Don't
I
worry."
like this kid out of NC State or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a awful
No,
comparison.
I think my analogy was better. Like, what wide receivers do you like in the draft? And Belichick they're like,
but this is small fries compared to that. In
Well,
that
no
instance,
shit.
I wouldn't.
Small
I wouldn't
fries.
even ask you. This one, I'm telling you, we're not going to take your
yeah,
pick.
we're not going to take it.
We
And
can't,
you know that we won't do that.
we
know
can't
we won't
talk
do that.
about the sponsor yet. It'll all come out next week.
That has nothing.
Give me the fucking
It's a
college
school.
basketball team that you
Just
like.
say the fucking school.
I feel like I'm being strong armed. Lance,
You
help me
are.
out.
Don't ask for Lance.
Yeah,
Lance, stay off the mic for a
I
second.
need Lance.
You need a fucking lifeline, and you don't have one. You're getting bodied back
Wait,
and forth.
why should I have
He
to
loves
tell
doing
you?
that too.
Because you said I have one that when we're doing a show and we're talking sports, and I feel like if you got something and you're being coy about it, and you should just say it.
King of
and
coy.
we've told you that we won't take it.
Eddie, I think you got to at least give him a hint. Maybe you got to hint at what conference you're looking at. You got to give him something here.
Wow.
If I-
Lance Judas do.
Lance,
He did.
That's fucked up.
Because
He
Lance
goes-
is an integrity guy too, and he knows that this conversation demands that
But
you
that's
say.
like the compromise. Eddie doesn't have to give you the full pick, but maybe lean you at like a couple teams or something like that.
Red Lance.
All right, Lance.
Is
He
it
is
a
wearing
Big
a red
Ten
hood.
team?
No, of course not. It's an underdog who's going to be underseeded that I want to take in this fucking bracket busters next week.
Like
Okay.
Kennesaw State or
Yeah, it's someone smaller potatoes. Like it's like a team that you how you like.
it's 9 through 16, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
The chat has a suggestion.
What's the chat?
If what you're
suggestion?
worried about is them taking your pick, your team, then there should just be a punishment if they do steal your team.
I
agree
we
to
said,
it. We
yeah.
agree. You can waterboard me if you want. You
Yes,
can. Yeah.
we can waterboard.
So if you're
we
telling
take
me-
it,
okay.
if we
By-
take it, you can
No, and
waterboard
it
us.
can't be by default either. Like we're the last pick in this.
Okay,
list.
but
Yeah.
I'm saying if you guys are ahead of me and you take this team, it's
Yes.
fine.
waterboard.
you,
Agreed.
you have to waterboard one another.
All right, fine. Just to see for the sake of White Sox, they potentially getting waterboarded. Sure, It's Drake.
All right, we got to take Drake.
Fuck you.
We have to take Drake. And
You should actually want
here's
us
a,
to take
Here's
Drake
a funny little story.
because-
Then we could waterboard you.
Yeah.
It has to
that's
be
a fair trade-off.
It has to be
Yeah.
a serious waterboard.
so-
Like you have to be nervous.
so-
for,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I've actually never really, I don't really get it. Like, I watched Zero
I
Dark
was talking
30.
about it yesterday. And yeah, they just splash some water.
You got a towel over your face with some water. I mean, I know it's like, it's bad enough to be banned by the Geneva Conventions, but when I watch it on like Zero Dark 30 or other things, I'm not overly like,
It's
what's
pretty
the big
bad.
deal?
I never watched Stern, but I know he did it when that became like a thing that people knew about waterboarding.
And Dave, you've said before that you would do this if it was like something came to it. So that's.
I'm
Just
not
know
gonna
that
just do it.
If you walk up to the fucking podium and you take Drake,
Ooh, I didn't even know Bradley was good again.
well, Bradley's out. Well, probably.
Well,
they
they're
lost
not
their
going to get an
conference
at
It's going to be a
large.
one bit, yes. And Drake
Yeah.
won the tournament, so their Drake's in.
So, All Business Pete sent a mass
I mean, I'm
email.
stupid for saying this. Other people might watch this and take
Nah.
it.
Nah, I don't think
But it's
they
all
will.
right. I mean, I think nobody.
It's luck of the
not-
draw
it's-
anyways.
and it's not like I'm fucking breaking.
I
news
also
here.
feel like the Missouri Valley is a good enough league. Like, I'd rather,
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying.
a
It's not
solid
like
league,
it's-
yeah.
but I'd rather see, if they're a one bid league, that bothers me. I feel like that league's good enough. I'd rather see 2 teams from there than 9 teams from the Big Ten.
Fortunately, it just doesn't work like that anymore.
I know,
but I
it's
hear
bullshit.
You. Yeah, that's changed so much. Like,
Drake's a good program too. They beat in the conference championship. They beat Loyola a couple years ago. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Or
I
was
think-
it was
I
a
think
close
you're right.
game or something?
I think
But
you're right because they
Loyola's
jumped to the
bad this
A10.
year, unfortunately. But
Yeah, they're
Pete
bounced.
emailed us yesterday, and he was looking for like local schools for the next. And I said Drake randomly enough. I'm like, Drake's actually got a large alumni base in Chicago and St. Louis University too. If that helps anything, but I like that. Drake's always one of those sneaky teams.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like.
Yes,
Drake?
I like them, and I watched them. They bounced Southern Illinois. They made it to. That's where I went. They made it to the semis, and it was. I watched that game, and they look. I liked what I saw.
Okay.
So I was like,
Yeah.
all right,
All right.
tickler file.
All right.
So
What? So hold on.
yeah.
What if I watch? Well, they don't have a conference game yet. Tournament game. They just won it. What if I like what I saw and I watched them earlier in the season?
you didn't though.
What I can answer your question.
This
Waterboard. Okay, that's the answer to that question. You can't just now like, well, I didn't take him because of Ed, so it's not a waterboard. You take Drake, it's a waterboard.
It's a waterboard season. Also,
Yeah.
Danny brought up Mancow Muller. A couple last week, I think you said that to me for putting it at the baby table, and I actually he did something on that back in the day.
Yeah, it was Mancow. He lasted like 1 second, right?
1 second.
Yeah.
he's an old.
It was
he's a-
Manca. It wasn't.
He's an old school Chicago radio guy.
Yeah.
He like fits into that like shock jock kind
Yeah.
of vibe. I think.
I think he still has a show, doesn't he?
He's been like off and on.
Yeah.
I feel like I still
I feel like I see
billboards.
billboards. Yeah.
So he was under the same impressions. Like it doesn't seem that bad. Yada yada.
How long
yada.
do you think I could last?
I mean, he lasted a second, and he's like, "That's fucking torture." He's like, "That's
You're drunk.
I remember. I thought it was Stern because I remember the exact clip.
wow."
It was Mancow. Yeah. I don't remember Stern doing it. I remember the Mancow.
Yeah,
thing.
I must have misremembered, but yeah. Ed,
Exactly.
I had something I brought up to Ryan at. We went and got a little breakfast this morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
How was
nice.
it?
It was
good.
It was
Right
all
next door.
Yeah. I had sleep paralysis last night for the first time in like
Did you?
years. I'm curious to see what the chat has to say about this, but because originally when I started talking about it, it was on the dog walk a couple years ago. It's people like were DMing me and tweeting me and
I'll
emailing.
put out a question to them right now, see if anyone else has it. Go on.
It's basically you're asleep and you're dreaming, but you're fully conscious in your mind that you're asleep and that you're dreaming. If that makes any sense at all, like you're thinking to yourself, I'm asleep, I'm
Isn't
dreaming.
that a
right now."
lucid dream?
It's sleep paralysis, whatever. But here's the thing. This is the first Google link because I've looked it up before
Okay.
too. So I fell asleep on the couch watching the Cuba versus Netherlands baseball game last night, World Baseball Classic, and at like I don't know midnight maybe, I went to my bed and I don't know. I have no idea what time at night this was. 2, 3 in the morning, something. I don't know. And I find myself trying to scream in my sleep. And we have well documented my sleep issues with the sleepwalking many times now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to scream for my dog, and he was asleep on the couch. He wasn't even in the room. And when you do this, you're like, like the scene in The Matrix when his mouth is being like, not glued shut, but trap shut or whatever in the beginning of the movie. You're trying to scream or talk or whatever, and you're like, you can't get anything out, and you can't move. You're trying to shake yourself out of it, and then you think you're awake, and it's just like another layer of the dream. I swear to God, it's like Inception. So in the meantime, I'm looking at my door. I sleep with my door open to my bedroom, and I have never got the goblin witch thing that they talk about in this. I got it last night. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
So what do you mean a goblin witch?
Look it up. It's like a thing.
It's like a demon.
And like,
but
and like
it
everyone
was-
sees the
it
same
was
thing.
a tall.
They'll pull it up.
For me, it was like a tall and lanky dude, and he had like an aura around him. It was fucking so weird.
I think we need to mention that we're all sleeping in the same
Yes.
house
Yeah.
tonight for the
Yes.
first
Yeah.
time maybe
Oh,
ever.
fuck.
Now we're gonna
Yes.
have Dave's fucking goblin wandering around.
I don't love that.
It was like the third one from the right. It was just like that, tall and skinny, just like that.
Dave, you're sleeping in the basement tonight.
That's
Holy
fine.
fuck.
I wouldn't want
goblin
to sleep
thing.
around me either.
We're putting a fucking padlock on his
Can
room.
we get a straitjacket?
Yeah, dude.
I feel like
Honestly,
that's what we need. We need to put you in a straitjacket.
That's probably how I die. White Sox Dave does one of those sleepwalking killings.
Didn't you?
He
Yeah.
gets
Didn't
all-
you tackle your roommate one time?
Yeah, Pat. Yep.
Dude.
Can't wait for
What?
this
Well,
trip.
he tried waking me up while I was sleepwalking. You're not supposed to do that. And so I tackled him, and he eventually like rolled on top of me and like straddled me and like was shaking me by my shoulders. But I saw that little thing right there, and it was like fucking glowing.
Does it talk?
I don't remember that. I don't. Oh, that's exactly what I fucking saw.
Oh my!
Yes.
Can you
that's-
imagine that? That's exactly what I fucking saw right
All right.
there.
And what was happening? Was he like coming right at
No,
you?
he was just standing exactly in the doorway. Didn't move an inch.
All right, but how
Didn't
do
move an
you
inch.
know that this was a dream?
It's like the
What if there's a
2021
guy-
White
Because
Sox.
you're it might have been. I have that. If I would have just gotten up and
He did not laugh.
gave
at
him
that.
some nuts at that. 'Cause they
Tony
did-
La Russe, I am Tony La Russe.
But, So anyway, once you do finally wake up, you still think you're dreaming and
Because
asleep.
you got tricked the last time.
Because it's like 5 or 6 times. It's fucking wild. So I wake up, I turn the TV on, I did a couple laps around the house with my machete.
Dude, what if all this is a dream?
It very well could be. Yeah, I might be dreaming as we speak.
Wait.
But it was the most. I've never had the fucking whatever that thing is.
How long was he there for?
I mean, I'm assuming that when this happens to people, it's like 5 seconds long. But it seems like it seemed an hour long.
Isn't that like I haven't seen Inception the whole way through, but isn't that part of Inception where you could be
Time
like
slows down or whatever.
you could
dude,
be in like you could live like 20 years inside of a dream.
It's something like that. Yeah, I've only seen it once or twice too, and years ago. But it's what it at the basis of what I'm talking about. That's what it is, like dream to dream, and you're conscious through the entire thing.
That
And when I saw that thing in my doorway,
that's the first time I've ever heard of that, where everybody who has this sees the same thing, like some kind of demon thing.
I've heard witches before. People tell me they see like
Chat saying witches.
yeah, like big noses, like they
Stuff
look
like
like
that.
pimples and shit.
I thought you were when you explained. I thought you saw like the big guy from It Follows. I don't know if you could pull that up.
It
That guy's
Follow-
terrifying.
No,
It's a scary movie.
it was just like that, and I've never seen that image before. It was just like that. It was like
The second one, right?
it was with the little glowing thing behind him, like the little aura.
the orb.
It was a tall and skinny dude, and he had that thing around him, but he was
Nah,
not exactly.
don't love
no, that wasn't it. That's like a movie or something.
Yeah, that's It Follows, a movie. Good scary movie if you're looking for a recommendation. Pretty good.
But
Pass.
it was basically just like a silhouette, but kind of lit up. I don't even know how to explain it. So yeah, that was my night.
Damn.
And I knew you'd appreciate that. He wanted me to tell it at dinner, but I broke the rule and wouldn't tell him.
So
Or at breakfast.
altogether, what time did you go to bed?
I fell asleep after that. I mean, I had to shake it out. And
No, but
be
what
like,
time did you
it
go
was
to bed
just-
at like,
Initially.
initially?
Oh, I don't know. I fell asleep.
I think you said
watching-
midnight, right? You said you got up, went to your bed at midnight.
I mean, I was asleep before that though.
Well, but you had your dream in your bed.
Yeah, in my bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this could have been any time after midnight, probably.
Okay. And then you don't know what time you got up and like did your laps and everything?
Couldn't even begin to guess.
Really?
Could have been 12:15. Could have been 4:15.
So
no,
even you
wouldn't-
needed consciousness, you weren't like, oh, what time is it? No.
It's typically like 3:15. It's the devil's hour.
That's what Danny said the other day. It's 3:15.
Why
Is
is
it?
that the Devil's Hour?
Just seeing a movies.
It's from Amityville Horror.
No, it's
Oh.
real. It's
Actually,
Insidious, Conjuring, all based on true stories. Sorry to remind you.
I've seen The Conjuring. I've seen 2 of the Conjuring. Isn't there multiple? I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty fucking freaky, Ed.
I don't like that, Dave. And like Danny said, I also don't love the fact that we're about to share an Airbnb with you.
How many bedrooms did you get?
There's ample rooms.
How many locks?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Lock the door.
Like, I don't want to, but that's the thing. I don't want to be getting a drink at the kitchen at like 2 a.m.
You see me just like,
Yeah,
there's a cut shot.
yeah. Just see you fucking Mask of Zorro just battling some
It'll
fucking
be
ghosts.
like, you'll be like taking a leak or something, and you'll look in the medicine cabinet, and then when you shut it, I'll be behind you.
Yeah,
I'll say I'm glad he had it last night because I feel like how often do you have
It comes in spells,
Oh, fuck.
so it could
It's
come.
not-
It's never happened to me outside of my own bed. I'll say that.
Have you ever had a...
What about when you sleepwalk in New York?
That
Subway.
was completely different. That was
No
just
demon?
sleepwalking. No,
Oh,
yeah, I don't like
I haven't
this at all.
sleptwalked since then either. I don't think.
I shared a hotel room with a couple buddies years ago, and one of my friends had night terrors, and that's what Clem has too, and it was fucked up. So I was in one bed with my buddy, and then he had a single, and so we're like, we're sleeping, and then all of a sudden in the middle of the night, he got up and he grabbed the dude, and he's like, and he like cocked back, and he was ready to punch him in the face. And then we're screaming, and my one buddy's like, "Yo, dude, what the fuck?" And like it was
wonder
fucking
what
traumatic.
triggers that or causes that. Like, you
I have
should
no
see like
idea.
a psychiatrist, I feel like.
I probably
For many
should see an
reasons.
exorcist.
Yeah. Well,
I sleptwalked and I came to in the fucking subway system. I was in the subway. It's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I had no shoes on. I had weird fucking pants.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
ever told the part where
I didn't
I
tell
had to
anybody
piss
this
so
'cause I
bad
didn't
that
wanna
I
get
just whipped it
disqualified
out
at the
and
time.
pissed in the subway.
So I,
You made it to the subway.
public urination.
I made it to the subway. I was underground, Ed.
This
I
is
swear to
dangerous.
God.
You
This
should
is-
be dead.
This is insane.
And this
So
is this
he was pissed
sleepwalking
at
or
me.
you were blacked out?
No, and Donnie will corroborate this. After I came to, who knows how long I was out there for. I had to piss my fucking brains out. My feet are just like icicles. So I leaned up against the side of the building and I just let one rip right on the side of the building. And I'm like letting the piss stream between my legs. So I had to like widen my legs up a lot. And then I finally fucking yanked the door open. Not the turnstile door, but the door next to it. Hard enough where I could squeeze in, which is probably not. They probably want to fix that so intruders don't get in, like actual intruders. I got upstairs and I called Nick and he let me in, and I was like, "Yeah, I just sleptwalk, man." Like,
Yeah, some people sleepwalk.
Yeah, no, I sleepwalk a little bit, but there's levels,
I don't think I've ever done it.
really.
Yeah.
But him having sleepwalking and sleep paralysis,
I got
is
my parents
terrifying.
called the cops. They thought I got kidnapped when I was a kid.
You were sleeping in like the Astro van or
Yeah,
something,
it
right?
was the conversion
The
van,
conversion
yeah.
van, yeah.
I love that you had a conversion van.
Those were
I
sweet.
wish I had one.
They were
Big
sweet.
family. There's 6 kids.
Yeah, I wish it had a TV.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was the number one played movie on that?
Dumb
TV?
and Dumber.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I
I
probably
knew he
watched,
would know. I knew
Yeah.
he would remember.
probably watched Dumb and Dumber because we would take it out to Jersey from Chicago and probably watch Dumb and Dumber, I would guess, a solid 10 times on road trips in that van.
Just replay it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Dave. We'll see what happens tonight.
And I rigged it so I got my
Video
64
games?
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless. Anybody excited particularly for this weekend? Dave, do you still get riled up for St. Patrick's Day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love St. Patrick's.
You do?
I consider it, and people disagree with me, and I'm sure you guys will find a way to just rip on me for this. I consider it the unofficial kickoff to summer, even though I know the weather's not quite there yet and everything. But from this
What does
day,
that mean to you? What is...
it's just I love being in this city from St. Patrick's Day through. I'll even give it through Christmas. I used to say Thanksgiving, but I'll give it through Christmas, New Year's, January, February. Fuck those months.
Yeah, they do. Those months suck.
Do you consider it the official kickoff to summer, Danny? What's the chat saying?
I get what he means, but it's just always ice cold on St. Patrick's
Not
Day.
always. A couple years ago, it was like 75 and sunny.
Yeah, you get... I would say like 1 out of 5, you get like a beautiful day.
Oh, summer day.
I'm happy to be out of January and February.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think April fucks with your claim because April could get kind of murky.
Yeah.
Fuck April. No one even talks about April.
You'll get those random snow days in April.
Yeah, and you'll get those random 80-degree days. It's
True. but a lot of rain.
I remember
Yeah.
we having like snow days in April too. Like you would have like an old day off of school because we got a random 10 inches
never
of snow.
snow.
No, not that much.
Not that much.
100% that happened. In my
April
life.
showers.
Yeah.
No, you didn't get that much.
Where were you,
snow.
Alaska?
Daniel, look up the record
check.
snowfall in northern Illinois for April. Cause
Fucking Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
we'll get that last fuck you snow where it's like 2-3 inches and melts a day later.
Yeah, no, I know.
Where it's like the last middle finger from
That seems ambitious.
winter.
An ambitious statement, Chief.
1938, there was 9.1 inches, 9 inches on April 5th, 1982. It happens.
All right.
Yeah, not in our lifetime.
Chief was like 12 around that time.
what
All right. It's possible.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll be out and about.
They just got snow in San Diego last week or something.
California.
Yeah. I
Phoenix
saw a
or
video
Scottsdale,
of this
yeah.
person who had to be like, I think it might have been up in like the mountains of California, but it looked like they got like 12 feet of snow. Like they had to like dig down into like an igloo to get out of their house. It was crazy.
We'll be out and about. We got to do we got to stop at the Wrigleyville bar crawl.
Yep.
I don't know which bars we'll be at yet, but we'll follow us on social and we'll let you know. So
I think we're leaning towards one in particular with Dave's favorite bartender.
yeah, exactly. We're
Big
leaning
Tom.
towards that. Yeah, so we'll let you know. Just follow us on social. And
That fat asshole.
I got to defend Big Tom. I like Big Tom.
I like Big Tom too.
What was his commenter name?
Nah, you're not
can't
allowed to
say
say it.
Fire
Okay.
White Sox Dave's.
Blank ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't.
Cognitively challenged ass.
Yeah.
Correct. When
Long username.
That was
Yes.
in like 2012.
Yeah,
13.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's been an ongoing, it's a decade-long rivalry.
Decade long.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's changed. about
He won an
himself, and
award
It's not the person he is
last year, I believe,
today.
for being the worst bartender in Chicago.
That was
He's got
like-
a trophy for it.
That was one of my favorite like recent Twitter things where you went to Country Club and you're like, look at this guy, he's the worst fucking bartender. Like, and bars.
I
had
do
been-
it every time I'm in there.
I know, but
Yeah.
bars had been open for like 2 weeks, and like after COVID, and everybody was like, "What an asshole!" Like,
He's just
No,
trying
yeah.
to fucking make a living. Like people thought you were just like a Yelper.
yeah,
Yeah.
Portnoy quote tweeted it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did,
yeah, yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I can't tell if this is a joke or not, but if it's not, I would punch Dave in the face or White Sox Dave in the face.
This guy's got to be the worst fucking bartender in the city.
He's just all jolly, smiling, and Dave takes a picture of him.
Yeah, that was very funny.
yeah.
You got the tweet. Yeah, that's it. This ogre. Does this thing go off? Hold on, go off.
Now
Go
that
up.
is
Yeah, you have to go
that
to,
is
like,
a
the-
picture
the
of me being
original
short, but
replies.
he's a
He's
legitimate
6'9".
7 feet.
He's
No,
6'9".
7 feet.
This ogre is legitimately the worst bartender in Chicago, in America. And go to the quote tweets.
Yeah.
Go to the quote tweets. Oh,
Oh,
I
fuck.
hate how Twitter does
Yeah.
that. I don't know why.
Twitter
he
needs to
does it.
figure it out. Their
Yeah.
videos are getting all fucking laggy and shit
Yeah.
now. Have you noticed that?
I have noticed that.
Sometimes I'll go back to watch like old clips. And
It happened on the one we just played.
Yeah.
About his last sleepwalking paralysis.
Yeah.
Thing.
It's so fucking annoying, dude. Figure it out, Elon.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Did you like Elon? His little back and forth with that former employee of his on Twitter yesterday.
I didn't see it.
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I didn't see it.
Jerry blogged it. Thornton.
Really?
Yeah.
I if you say it's funny, I'd like to check it out at some point.
It's not on the list. It was everybody was talking about it. It was all over Daily Mail and everything.
But what time was it at?
It was I don't know, but I have it up here. I can read it to you. You ready?
Sure.
So it's this guy, Holly. He's got a blue check. He goes, Dear Elon Musk, 9 days ago, the access to my work computer was cut along with about 200 other Twitter employees. However, your head of HR is not able to confirm if I'm an employee or not. You've not answered my emails. Maybe if enough people retweet, you'll answer me here. And Elon replies to him, what work have you been doing? He goes, I need to break confidentiality. Answer here, if you have your lawyer share in writing that I can do that, then I'd be happy to discuss that openly. It is approved. You go ahead from Elon.
That's the best part.
And
It's
he
approved.
goes,
You go.
among others, led an effort to save about $500K on the SaaS contract, supported closing down many others, led prioritization, blah, blah, blah. All these different things that he does. Elon replies, level up from what design to what, Pixar didn't happen. we haven't hired design roles in 4 months. What changes did you make to help with the use? And then basically he just like got to the end. He's like, yeah, you're fired.
It's so fucking funny.
Oh my god.
So he's playing that thing. Yeah. So
And he gave the Office Space quote with the bobs.
yeah.
The Bobs. The Bobs.
What
Bob?
would
Bob?
you say you do here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please take that jersey off the table.
I can't.
Why?
I am now in support of Patrick Kane.
Oh.
I've clicked into spite mode.
And for the record, I support this.
Yeah, because I'm so mad at the organization with all their bullshit optics that they essentially were just like, we don't want him back. And so this whole thing about, oh, like we're doing right by him. They released this video of like him talking to Davidson and he's saying Davidson's classy. But they just didn't offer him a contract. And if he wanted to be here and they said no. So at that when I learned that, and then I learned about how that video came to be, where it's like I don't even know how much of this I'm allowed to say, so I'm gonna hold off some things. But let's just say like he was not like fully aware that cameras would be rolling on him the entire time, and it was like this is bullshit, and you're making this guy who's done everything for this organization. He's been a perfect citizen. He's still an awesome player. And you're making a decision to just move on for, I don't know, not a hockey reason. Has nothing to do with hockey. And it can't have anything to do with off the ice. So they're just, I don't know their motivations, but I don't think it was a hockey thing. So now I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You deserve everything that you get. If the rebuild fails, like I like what Davidson's doing. I think he's doing a very good job. I think he's a sharp guy. I think this decision was made by people above him to move on from Patrick Kane. And so now it's just like karma is a bitch. So now it's like, I don't know, like I don't think they'll get Bedard, like it's just all these different things. I don't think they deserve to get Bedard. If this is how you treat your legendary players and this is the way they've always treated their legendary players, then you don't deserve to get another one. That's kind of how I feel.
This is Stone Cold confirmed.
I'm still digging, but yeah, that's what it sounds like. And there was like an Emily Kaplan report. There's been other people that reported it, and they kind of, they didn't support Patrick Kane really the entire time he was here. He never had a center to play with. Anytime he had a winger to play with, they dealt him as soon as possible, whether that was DeBrincat or Panarin. Like he should probably have another 300 points, but they're just like, you know what? Kane's going to be able to figure it out on his own. Let's make sure the other guys are good. And then that's why you bring back Baron Saad, and that fucking thing failed too. So I'm so mad at them that I've clicked into fucking spite mode, where they make it so hard to be a fan of their organization, and they always, save for the Dale Talon built teams from 9 until 15. They've always made it hard. It was impossible to be a fan in the 90s. They're making it harder now, not harder than it was in the 90s, where they wouldn't put the games on fucking TV. So it's so infuriating that they do all the sidewalk chalk murals and all this. Like, fuck you. And it's like, it's almost perfect that they chose the sidewalk chalk, because they can just wash him away with one rainstorm. And that's what they're basically trying to get this guy out of here. We're on to the next thing. And there's no hockey reason to do that. There's no hockey related reason to do that. There's no financial reason to do it. The only reason to do it is to wipe the slate clean. And I don't know why they would want to do that, because he wants to be here. He should be the guy who breaks all the records here. He's earned that right. He's still a good player. He's a good mentor. He's good at every single thing he does with this organization. And they don't care. Doesn't mean anything to them. So but they act like they do. And it's like, I'm tired of like, we're doing things for PR. Do things to do them the right way. Don't just do it for PR.
You know what the best PR is?
What?
Winning hockey games. Winning baseball
and I
games.
think that I think if they allow Davidson, if they don't meddle with Davidson, I think that they'll get on the right track and be a good team. How high the ceiling is. It's hard to win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if they'll ever do that again, but they should be able to, with what they've brought in already, their financial flexibility and this upcoming draft and the drafts to come, they'll put a good team on the ice.
So I don't want to put words in your mouth, so stop me if I am.
Okay.
But so are you alluding to that someone above Davidson was kind of involved in this decision?
That's the impression that I'm getting.
Okay. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
And you know what? You know who else used to do that a lot?
Who?
John McDonough. John McDonough used to meddle with hockey operations all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, we had to get rid of that guy. He was a real problem in a lot of different ways. But the fact that he would You're like, hey, Panarin's not a playoff player. Let's get rid of him. Let's give Seabrook an 8-year deal. All these things. There's a lot of like decisions that were like, what? And it was because McDonough could bully Stan around, and Stan didn't have a backbone, and then Stan, shit rolls downhill. So he's like, I got to get rid of Joel because I need to get a guy that I can push around. And so I'm going to blame all the failures on Joel. We'll get my guy in, and then the thing really craters. And then they fire everybody. But it's like they would have, if not for the beach thing, they would have kept Bowman too. Like they don't know. I don't think they know what they're doing a lot of times.
Because that answered my question, because I was interested how you were still pretty supportive of Davidson.
Yeah.
Because that seems like it's his decision. So
it should be exclusively his decision.
So to
And
answer,
if it was and they let him walk in,
then say it with your fucking chest. And you should have to, because it doesn't make any sense why from a hockey side. And I broke all that down. If Patrick Kane was an asshole and you're like, this is not good for our young guys, that's one thing. Okay, he's not. He's been a great mentor. We had Strome on. DeBrinket's one of his best friends. He was great bringing Panarin along. He was great to Nick Schmaltz, Hartman, Hinostroza. He's always been good with the young guys and going above and beyond. Why don't you come down with me to train in Florida? Why don't you work out with me and my personal skills coach in the offseason? He's always done that. He would continue to do that. So then there's this line of notion, well, people always defer to Kane. That's not good for their development. If you have a guy who's too much of a fucking pussy to play with Patrick Kane, well, then guess what? He's not going to be able to play with anybody else either, any other great players. So that's like, they look, and people do look to Kane. And there is like an adjustment period where people want to defer to him. Strome talked about that too. But eventually, you just have to get on the same page. And DeBrinket
get
did
in
it.
or get out.
Right. Yeah. And if you can't do it, well, then you're not mentally tough enough for the NHL. I don't want you on the team anyways. So, or put that guy, whoever you're concerned about, on a different line. If it's that, and find guys that can play with great players. Fucking Jason Dickinson was able to adjust and learn how to play with Patrick Kane. So that's the thing where it's just like, if it was actually Davidson, which maybe people are telling me things, maybe I'm wrong, and he said that this is the best thing for this organization is to move on from Patrick Kane, you better explain it, because they have all the money in the world. You could pay Patrick Kane $15 million if you wanted to next year, and it wouldn't impact your rebuild, your financials, your cap at all. It's not like Kane was asking for that. Who knows? Who knows what he was actually asking for? But that is like the upper echelon. He'd be the highest paid player in the league. You could make him the highest paid player in the league for a year or two, and it wouldn't negatively impact the rebuild. He's great with young players. He's still a very good player on the ice. So if those 3 boxes are checked, then it has to be something else. And if it is something else, you owe it to Kane and all the fans that you're trying to get to buy into this rebuild and to buy tickets after you dragged us through the mud by getting rid of a broadcast crew that nobody asked you to get rid of. We went through the same thing with Joel. That was a disaster. You forced him out. They forced out people on the business side that didn't deserve it. It's been, and then it's just, everything's about optics. So we're the good guys here. No, you're not. You're not doing things the right way, and you're not concentrated on winning hockey games and treating your legends the right way. And because Kane should be allowed to be here if he wants, because he's still very good and he's the most important. He's created generations of fans where they're going to be buying tickets for 50 years and merch for 50 years because of him. So if he wants to stay another 3, you fucking let him, because he's good for the organization. And so now I'm rooting for Patrick Kane. I'm a Patrick Kane guy the rest of the way. I had that future on it, but I was like wrestling with it. But now I've clicked into like, I want him to give this organization the middle finger until he retires.
Strong rant.
Yeah.
That was strong.
I thought he was about to Rico Bosco that LaCroix can at the monitor right there.
Yeah, that was a strong rant. So gathering what you're saying, because to my understanding, the owners do not meddle very much.
Rocky never did. Rocky was very hands off. I think Danny's more involved.
Yeah.
But Danny hired Jamie. And I think he's really been supportive of Jamie. So again, I don't know. I'm still digging.
Yes.
So I don't want to like indict somebody unnecessarily at this point, but I am digging, and I will find out. I will chase down the truth on this for a decade if I have to, because this is wrong. This is not the way you run a hockey organization, because it should be about hockey and entertainment, and you're falling short.
It's concerning.
Treating people the right way.
It's concerning. We are becoming a town that has a problem with it across all
You
teams.
could take out
feels.
Blackhawks
but it's like,
and put in the fucking White Sox.
yeah, but it's like I have PTSD from being a kid. Like we went through this with Roenick, with Chelios, with Belfort, you know, like, and then you're in the dark ages. The games aren't on TV. Like Amante, you had a 6-year run where you were the best organization in sports, and really rebuilt your reputation as a business and as an organization. That's all been blown to shit now, and so now it's like, all right, well. The good times were an outlier, okay? The traditional history of this organization has been horrendous. So what is the future and what are we doing and what are your core principles? What are your core principles of this? Because it's not clear to me. Is it treating people the right way? That's not clear to me. Is it caring about what your fans actually want instead of telling them what they want? That's not clear to me. Is it treating your greatest asset ever the right way? That's obviously not the case. So it's very disheartening and very it's hard. It's hard right now.
I mean, dude, look at the Sammy shit. People still ask for that every Cubs convention.
They won't even fucking.
That to me, that one's so weird because the Ricketts, they weren't here.
They weren't here. Yeah.
So like, dude, who's making that call?
I would love to hear. Because I would assume there's more to the story. I hope if there's not more to the story,
right? Then it's
and
just
it was
like
because he fucking banged the boombox on his way out. Dude, get the fuck over it.
What year was that?
2004.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, get over it. Like let's move beyond it. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be fucking 2 decades. Yeah. You know, like figure it out. Like and then like obviously Urlacher had problems with Phil Emery, but you know they've been able to reunite him. And,
yeah.
You know, but there was still.
I would love a tell-all. You get Joel Quenneville,
Michael Jordan. Like they did the Last Dance about how they forced him out early. Oh, it's like they do it. What do we do to deserve this?
I don't know.
You know, like every time we get something great, we fuck it up.
Yeah, and it's not. It's not. Listen, it's not the easiest thing to do, right?
To do what?
To certain situations are different. I will say.
Yeah, but I think the underlying theme. And all of it could be ego.
Sure,
we're gonna do it. We don't want any ties. We want to do this completely on our own. I'm a different leader here. It's a different generation under me. We're gonna win without Patrick Kane.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
I'll show you.
We'll win without Michael Jordan.
What I'm saying, like if there's a guy who still thinks he has it and he clearly doesn't.
Yeah,
and that's for different. The better. That's a different situation.
Right, and you don't see me banging the table for Jonathan Taves. Okay, I think he's probably done for a myriad of reasons. You don't see me banging the table for him.
Good point.
Okay. I'm banging the table for Patrick Kane. And because he's done everything right the last 8 years, he's still awesome and he wants to be here. And he's healthy and he's good, you know? And it's like, and he's a great mentor. And all, like, if everybody to a man who has played with him is like, he's the best fucking teammate. He's the best guy. He's a hard ass at times, but he's the best fucking guy. Then you're like, nah, actually, no, get out of here.
Yeah, and I wasn't referring to Kane specifically. I was saying like Urlacher, like, listen, there probably was grounds for Emery to be like, hey, like the Lovey era is over. We're kind of starting fresh. Mm-hmm. Fucking didn't work out. He was horrible. Yeah, and if he handled it the wrong way, shame on you. You should handle Urlacher and with the utmost fucking decency possible. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's a problem across the whole city.
That's what I was just about to say. I would love.
Which sucks.
Like us three, we get Joel Quenneville. I would love Han, and like assume this is in the future. Like once they're all retired and living on beaches in Florida and shit. Someone from the Bulls and someone from the Bears. I don't know, George McCaskey, whoever. Just like a tell-all where they, in a hypothetical world, have to tell 100% the truth. Like wouldn't that be awesome? Just like sit in a bar. I'm not even talking about throwing.
I don't know. Like Joel is such a high road guy that he would never say it. But I've gotten some of that from him.
Oh, you get a little brown liquor in him. I bet you get some loose lips, right, Ed?
No, but like he wouldn't do it. I don't think he wouldn't do it on the mic.
I'm not saying like throw anybody under the bus, but like you saw in The Last Dance and Jerry Reinsdorf was like, I didn't think he was worth it. What the fuck are you talking about? It's Michael Jordan.
Like that was like when Eddie and I had Bowman in that day. Mm-hmm. That was the day you got COVID too. I used your microphone that day. You like texted us and I had to like call the Blackhawks and be like, hey, you had direct exposure to COVID. But like Stan was like, no, like Joel and I had a great working relationship. And I'm like, and I didn't really have good sources, we'll say, at that point. And I had always heard that it wasn't. And I'm like, I think this guy's just lying, but I have nothing to hit him with.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they fucking didn't. They fucking hated each other since the day Stan Bowman got the job. Why can't people just be like, yeah, like that was an issue. We had a personality conflict. And I'm not saying like who's right or wrong, or one guy's 100% right, or the other guy's 100% wrong. I'm not saying that. But why can't people just be like, look, it wasn't a fit personality wise. So I thought it was my job for the betterment of the organization to get everybody on the same page, and that's why I made the move. You just fucking, why can't people just tell the truth? Just tell the fucking truth.
Here's the thing, though, Chief, and I think
And it's way different because everybody knows their line when they give you that lip service, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but also to play not a different side, but to make another point, we do see only half a painted picture in a lot of these situations.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I always struggle with. And we talked to Han about that. Remember with Dave when we sat Rick, it was me, you, and Rick Han, and he's like, guys, like there's so much that happens behind the scenes. And like I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, dude, yeah, it's probably like Rick Hahn probably wants to do so much X, X, and X, and he's probably not able to because of you know
X, Y, and Z.
Yes, exactly.
But he's still employed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where
I'm
it's
saying
like
and
post.
Yeah.
I know. And guys who work for a public-facing organization, we know it's not always the case with what people run with on the internet.
I understand.
You know what I mean? And we've seen like rumors about people we work with or people about ourselves. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's not, that's where I struggle, where it's like, we just never fully know what's going on at the core. You know what I mean? Do you agree with me there?
Yeah, to an extent. Obviously we don't. But I think that if you look at an organization to the extent with a microscope, I'm talking about like Ryan and I look at the White Sox and Blackhawks, and I think you can have enough information to fit the puzzle pieces correctly.
Yeah, and listen.
For instance, like Tony La Russa never in a million years would have been hired by anybody other than Jerry Reinsdorf.
Right.
Jerry Reinsdorf meddled. He didn't, like I always say, owner should own, GM should GM. I know GM's not a verb.
Right.
But point remains. Fucking like cut the checks and shut up. You hired these guys for a reason, you know?
Right.
Let the coach
Or
players play.
I hate when there's like this layer of, well, it was that guy. Okay, because if you're the owner, I do think that if you want to also be the GM, hire yourself. Okay? But then you have
Dallas
to step
Cowboys.
up and be accountable for everything. It can't just be like, well, you know, we'll get a new GM. It's like, no, like if you're gonna tinker, then just get in all the way.
But I'm going to keep playing the other side.
And you love doing that.
Well,
yeah. No. Keep going.
It's for good fodder, too.
Yeah.
It's for,
I agree.
We are putting out content.
I know.
A lot of people take the high road, though, Chief. A lot of people don't like to throw people under the bus. You know? Like, that's the thing.
I know.
What if Jerry came up to him and was like, hey, Rick, you got $15 million to spend this offseason, and that's all. That's it. You don't think he would fucking, like, love to just tweet out, Jerry gave me $15 million. Shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. I can't do anything.
Of course. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He gets fired.
But then he gets fired, and then there's only 30 positions in the fucking world.
Right.
And then
totally.
backlash comes.
I get it from Rick Hahn's perspective, but at the same time, like this is where I get frustrated with sports teams and ownership and management and everything like that. These are sports and it's entertainment. It's not the fucking nuclear codes. If you only want to spend $15 million and there are budgetary reasons for why you can only spend that, okay? And I'm not saying that's accurate, but
that was a fake number.
Right?
So you know.
Okay, I know it's a fake. It's a hypothetical, right? But just be like, and I think most fans would be able to like, if you make a good argument, then they'll be like, all right, you know, like same when they traded Chris Sale, right? Or when the Blackhawks traded DeBrincat and Doc and everything, it's like, I would have been fine if they brought those guys back and tried to be a wild card team this year. Strom, all those guys, I would have been fine with that. But they decided, hey, like we have higher goals than that. So we really have to strip it all down, sink to the bottom of the pool, and push ourselves up with these high draft picks. I'm okay. I'm bored with both plans. Mm-hmm. But you have to make compelling arguments. And anytime you have a policy or a decision that you feel like you have to hide or PR or bullshit about, that should be an indication that your policy is bullshit. Because most people will understand if you make a clear and good logical argument. So if you feel the need to do all the different bullshit around to skirt what the real story is, then you're making the wrong decision. Plain and simple.
That was the most beautiful thing that you've ever said. I could not agree more. It's a slap in the face. It really is. And
well, they think they're smarter than everybody. They're not.
That we're in the age of information. That's what I love. Is that
I don't even agree
I see
with that.
moves.
What part don't you agree with?
I don't agree that they think they're smarter than everyone.
That's how they act.
I think they think they're Teflon. And
You're arguing the same thing.
We are
though.
your team.
You're still going to watch no matter
You're still
what.
going to watch no matter what.
And I think there is an element of that for some. I think that's true for the Bears and probably the Cubs.
Yes.
I lived through
and the Bulls.
Kind of.
We're just not basketball fans.
But like
they sell out every game.
The Blackhawks and hockey in general in most markets in the United States it's a niche sport, and we saw how dead this organization was for 15 plus years.
Sitting glass for $7 when I was in college. Yeah,
right. So that's not true for hockey. It's not true for hockey that you're Teflon. You might feel that way because you've been riding Patrick Kane's coattails for 16 years, people will just still show up and watch. And if you look at the crowds in February, when I was living at United Center in February, it was full. And because of people like me were showing up to see Patrick Kane play against fucking Arizona. Then they had Vegas and Toronto, whatever. But you look at the crowd they had the other night against Ottawa, it was bad. It was like, oh boy, it's 2006 all over again.
Yeah.
I was there last Thursday. They got smoked. I don't know who they played, but it was still pretty full.
That was they were playing Dallas.
It was Dallas.
It was Dallas, right. But that was like those tickets were already bought.
That's what probably because that was the first game after King got dealt. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It sucks, man.
It sucks. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But like on your point though. Like they think they're smarter than us, and a lot of that is true. I mean, there's a reason they're one of 30 people for the most part. I'm using baseball amount of teams, but we're in the age of information. I can pull up Fangraphs right now and explain to you why Lurie Garcia was a completely horrific signing, and they still will be like, "Oh, Lurie Garcia plays 7 positions on the field aside from pitcher and catcher." Blah, 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 whatever. He can hit anywhere in the lineup, switch hitter. It's like, no, I have access to every single statistic Lurie Garcia has, and I have eyeballs. He fucking sucks. Why'd you do this? Like, I don't know if it's the same thing for hockey, but like they think they're smarter. Like, fans have caught up, at least in baseball, to like organizations. There's still a definite gap, but the gap is narrowed in like what makes a baseball player 20 years ago even. Like, Paul Konerko, for instance. Everybody thought Paul Konerko was awesome. If you look at his career wins above replacement, he was a pretty average player, even though we all thought he was awesome because X, Y, and Z. He was dog shit fielder, blah, blah, blah. It's not like that anymore. Yeah. And it's like, you think you're smarter than us? Well, you are, but not as smarter than us than you used to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's not apples to apples because the hockey analytics are harder because it's so fluid.
Yeah.
So the analytics side is largely the Hawks are building it out. They hired a guy from the Cubs, Greenberg, to do that. Yep. So so I don't as far as that is concerned, it's fine. But it's also just don't spew out bullshit and be like, oh well, we did everything it's the classy thing to do. It's not so transparent what you're doing. And it takes me three phone calls.
It's offensive.
It took me 3 phone calls to get the truth out.
But they also don't think that that's ever going to come to light.
God is my witness. I will be bringing it to light, and maybe we'll have 88 in here in the summer. Maybe. Talk about it in the summer. Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. I'm saying maybe. Not guaranteeing anything. I'm saying maybe.
I would love redemption, Patrick. The last time I talked to you, I wore a bald cap, and I asked you about a WWF wrestler.
Yeah.
He played into that. That was so funny.
He did. Yeah. So I'd love to see you.
But that's what I mean. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He gets it, and it's just really it's really unfortunate what they've done.
It is.
I hate Chicago sports.
I fucking hate Chicago sports.
So, hey, Dave,
I got a Northwestern basketball team that surprised
yes,
me.
exactly.
There you go.
It's March. You got Boo Booey to get behind.
That's goddamn right.
Boo
I do.
Booey to get behind. My kind of last note for the show.
I'll say this.
Between
I want everybody listening to this to watch Brooks Barnheiser play basketball. He looks like a little. He's a hick from rural Indiana. He's got the goofy ass haircut, little trash stash that's starting to fill in. Like, he is awesome at basketball. And he's got like a handle too. He's not just like a set up pick white guy. He is fucking fun to watch. Watch him play.
All right.
Okay.
That's my guy, Brooks
That's all
Barnheiser.
Here we got the video of you with the
Eddie
piss
dressed
can.
up as Pierre Maguire. He was doing in-game interviews with Patrick Kane. Eddie asked Patrick Kane, he skates up and he's like, "Hey, congratulations to your uncle." And he goes, "What?" And then he goes, "Your uncle just won the election." Eddie was talking about the former wrestler Kane, who just was elected mayor of a small town in Tennessee.
He had no idea what I was talking about.
Like, no shit, he didn't
realized
know.
what you were doing after a minute.
Yes.
You started playing along.
Carl fucking hit him with one of the greatest lines
Yeah.
ever, too. We're going to check in, and he's right in front of us checking in. The check-in lady's like, "Oh, what's your name back there?" He's like, Patrick Kane. And Kane's like, his head whips around. He's like, and then he just laughed. It was really funny.
Yeah.
He was so caught off guard. I was like, "Oh my God, you're Patrick Kane. This is awkward now."
That was great.
Yeah.
That video never saw the light
No,
of
it
day.
didn't.
No.
But yeah, that was quite the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess my quick note is Flus and Poles was on around PMT.
Yeah, I watch it. Yeah.
I listened to.
He's a cat guy.
Yeah, but he's still
Who is?
Flus.
Flus. Yeah.
Oh,
He's got two cats named after the characters from Frozen. He likes quick twitch muscles. You can appreciate that.
I appreciate a good quick twitch.
Yeah.
But I don't really trust a guy that if you have a cat because like your wife moved in,
He's
or
got
girlfriend or daughter, like
They
if
adopted
you're a
him.
cat guy, you're a fucking.
But
I don't know if I want you leading my football team. I'll say that.
he had no shame and he welcomed it. And
Yeah.
they were like he sized him up and he sized Big Cat up. It was good. It was a good interview. Poles obviously like he couldn't say shit because like he's just getting
Couldn't
ready.
tip it. I thought the one thing that Dan asked that was kind of funny was like, so do you have a cap on how many times you can trade back? Because, I think it was Gas Money Bob had like a tweet where it's like trade 1 for 2, 2 for 4, 4 for 7, 7 for 9, and like you just have like 16 first round picks. And so Dan's like, he's like, and Poles is like, yeah, there's no cap to how many times we'll trade. We'll trade all the picks. so which is, this is another thought that I had too, and this is more of like a serious sports moment. If Jalen Carter is in trouble, does that make you guys more open to trading back further in the draft to 7, 8, 9 in that?
I mean, the Will Anderson hype is like real.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking seriously catching steam. So
I know, but everyone says he's not like a system fit.
that's what people say. But
Yeah.
I think
if you're just that much of a freak, you can figure it out.
Yes, exactly. However, I don't hate that at all. Just keep because I would love a first rounder in next year's draft.
Oh, they're
You know?
getting bare minimum first round next year. There's no way they don't.
Well, that's not. Well, but it could be something like, Texans 2 and like a second rounder. If it goes to
Yeah, but then you trade the
Carolina
second-
9, then you probably get like next year's first rounder maybe.
Right.
So I would like that because a lot of these teams don't improve in 1 year. They'll be right back at the bottom, and then we're in an opportunity to get another impact
right,
player.
right,
Yeah.
right.
That would be beautiful.
It's also just ammo to be like, let's say that there's a guy that they love in next year's draft where they could be like, we'll give you this extra one to move up.
Yeah.
Like you always want to have like more poker chips to move around so you can do what you want to do, which is something Kyle
USC
Davidson's
quarterback.
doing a good job of as well.
Yes.
So
However, Fields did say on PMT that he wants Smith and Jigba. So,
JSN.
I mean, like you said about Patrick Kane, not doing anything for him. Like, hey, if they have the opportunity to take him,
yeah,
should they do it?
I think that makes a lot of sense because just from like even from like a personnel, not just like a Justin Fields thing, they have Mooney as like a perimeter stretch the field guy. Claypool can do a lot of that type of stuff too. They need like, hey, it's 3rd and 7.
Yeah.
And that's Jackson Smith and Jigba.
What if we just get Michael Mayer? We just have Komet and Mayer, just the 2 ND boys lining up and fucking
bring
heavy
back
tight ends.
Bring back Harry Heastan. Have him coach the O-line
He just
again.
retired, right?
He retired from Notre Dame is fucked. But yeah, so he bring him as a consultant. All the offensive line I just saw from the guy Greenberg, they're all working out with Olin Kreutz today.
Oh, nice.
like that. So that's one
That's
guy
great.
who, has a relationship with the former team still. And, but yeah, I like that. I like the idea of adding him. And I like the idea of adding Mayer too. I love big boy football.
Yeah.
You want to play? Let's play 2 tight ends and just run it down your throat.
Be nice.
Yeah.
Here, we've got the clip from Pardon My Take.
All right, so let's talk about the first pick. I don't know if you brought a pen and paper, but I have some thoughts.
Okay, let me hear 'em.
I ran a mock draft.
Yep.
I'm just going to rip through it real quick
Okay.
and let you know what I'm able to do and see if you can get up to my standard. So first pick was traded to the Texans for pick 2, 12, 33, and 2 first-rounders next year.
Wow. Yeah.
Then we traded the 2 pick that we got from the Texans to the Seahawks for pick 5, 20, and a first-rounder
happen
next
anymore.
year. Then the 5 pick to the Falcons for 8, 44, and a first-rounder next year. And then the 8 pick to the Lions for 18 and a first-rounder next year. So I ended up with 6 first-rounders next year. Can you think, like, it's not that hard?
It's not.
Right. Just keep going, keep trading, keep going.
Yeah.
Is there a cap on how many trades you're willing to?
There's no cap.
Love it.
Yeah.
Nice. Just keep
Yeah.
trading.
Yeah,
Get
we're-
them all. Get all the picks.
Every pick.
Yes.
Yes.
Just
for
get
2 years.
Get all the picks.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a good clip.
That's great.
Flus
So
looks
we'll
a
see.
little bit like Ronick. Does he look like Ronick?
Hairstyle a little
see
bit.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
He's got a little JR
Yeah.
to him.
For a split second, I was like, wait,
He
JR.
texted me back yesterday 1 second.
Did he?
He doesn't live in Arizona anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
where does he live?
I won't necessarily want to say on the show.
Is
It's
he
just
here?
not in Arizona. No, he's not here. No.
Oh,
I'd like to run in him at the lodge one night.
that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
yeah.
Yeah. He's a good
Him,
storyteller.
Chelios,
The best.
the
Yeah.
boys. That'd be sick. All right then, guys.
Oh, I did run into Frank Kaminsky at the lodge last weekend.
Stop, dude.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
That would have been weird.
dude, you and Frank Kaminsky's. That's one of the best stories.
Yeah.
The best storylines going.
That's
For
like,
sure.
you guys should do like a content series with like twins.
Dude, I swear, because I brought it up to him the last time he was on our show. It was a snake draft, actually, but I saw, so I don't even know if I said this live on air or anything, but I was out to dinner with my sister, my niece, and my brother-in-law in December. We were at Fogo de Chao in Naperville, and there's this long, it's been going on for legitimately since 2010, because we're from neighboring towns. And I would just run into Frank Kaminsky everywhere. This was the first time he noticed me, and he just started laughing. He's like, this is starting to get really weird now.
His picture of fucking
Yeah.
Dave at like a adjacent table, just
We were
hammering away on a
directly
fucking
next to each other. It's
top
him, his dad,
sirloin.
and his sister. I think she played volleyball at Southern, was it?
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. But all right then, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We're close to 60,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
so please hit that subscribe mark on YouTube and leave a comment, everything like that. We'll be out and about in Milwaukee today, so if you're
Yeah.
around,
You've been
just-
trying to end the show for like 30 minutes.
No, I haven't. We got
Yeah,
a
I
lot
know.
to do. We got to
I
get to
know.
the Paul
Yeah,
watch
I know,
party.
I
We got
know,
a draft
I
to do. Just
Yep.
a lot to do.
Yep.
So thank you guys. And then St. Patrick's Day, follow our social as well. We will be out and about somewhere. Thank you.